Hey everyone, Chris from Rockin Farm here again, and I got something I'm really excited about. Check this out. All right, got my little brown baggie. Nothing sketchy about that at all. But what's really cool is that I ordered something, and you can get this on Amazon. You can get it all over the place. I got mine, like to give credit where credit is due, through So Edible Farms. And what it is still looks sketchy, doesn't it? Let me see if I can get a little bit bigger piece here. So what this is this is root cuttings off of a plant called Comfrey. And many of you may be well aware of what Comfrey is. It's kind of a miracle plant. Comfrey does so many amazing things. Comfrey is one of those plants that, if I remember correctly, its botanical name actually means like bone healer. So if you were to take comfrey leaves and kind of mash them up a little bit and wrap them around like a broken finger and then bandage that comfrey on top of that, it would actually heal the bone underneath your skin. It can be used on scratches. It can be used on rashes. If you get bit by a fire ant or a wasp and crush up a comfrey leaf and just rub it on there, in a few minutes you'll never even know you got bit. It's just an amazing plant. And on top of having so many great medicinal uses, it's also a huge nitrogen fixer. It really speeds up your composting process. So once these plants start growing up, I can cut them and just drop them in my garden and let them break down, and they'll actually add nutrients to the soil and allow the rest of my garden to grow better as well. I can add these to my compost pile and speed up the amount of time in which the compost cures and gets ready to put in the garden. You can use it to some extent as a forage for some animals. Chickens that like to eat comfrey, not a lot, but they do. Actually, I'd have to research that a little bit more. I don't remember if they love the heck out of comfrey and you have to control how much you give them, or if they enjoy comfrey and they will control themselves. So before I started giving stuff like this to animals, I know people that do take it internally. A lot of places suggest that you don't take it internally. The one thing that I know you are not supposed to do with comfrey is if you have like a deep open wound, you don't want to put comfrey or comfrey salve on that open wound, and the reason is because it will heal the wound so quickly that it can actually heal infection into the wound. So you don't want to use this on deep open wounds, not because it's bad for them, but because it'll heal the wound so fast that there could be infection in that wound that would get healed into the wound and then obviously spread throughout your body. So it's a great plant with a lot of great uses. And here's the other really cool part about it. Is that, these comfrey cuttings, anywhere from 75 cents to $1 a piece. Some people charge almost $2 a piece. I think I paid $10 for 10 comfrey root cuttings. But you take these roots, and I'm going to put mine in pots. The reason I'm going to put mine in pots is because I want to be able to take good care of them. If I just plant them out on the land somewhere and then we start going through our summertime drought here and they don't get any water, they may or may not make it. They may or may not do that well. They may really get stunted growth, and then it takes 2 years to get to a size that maybe they could get to in a year. If they're here in the garden, I can keep an eye on them, and I can water them if it's not raining and things of that nature. The other reason I want to plant them in pots is because when I get ready to go put them in the ground, I can take cuttings off of the roots without having to dig up a plant. And they just grow from root cuttings like you wouldn't believe. So you put them in the ground like that so that you get as much surface area as possible. The roots will start growing all along the bottom here, and then out of one end or the other you will eventually get that branch that will come up. You may actually get a crown on both sides that will come up and actually form the plant that gives you the leaf that has so many amazing uses. Eventually, off of these 10 root cuttings, and I promise you this, off of these 10 root cuttings, I am going to have hundreds of comfrey plants all over my yard. So I buy it once, I propagate it myself, I cover my entire yard with it, and then I have this amazing medicinal plant that I can then take root and crown cuttings off of and sell for $1 or $2 a piece. So really excited about getting some comfrey on the property, and I'll keep you all updated as we go. So yeah, I got my sketchy brown bag and my sketchy root looking plant, and I'm going to get these in some pots. You want to plant them under about an inch of soil, and you know, keep the soil moist, and that's it, man. I mean, they're kind of one of those plants that just doesn't really give a damn. They'll just grow. So really excited and looking forward to getting a good medicinal plant on our property. And this has been Chris with Rockin Farm. Have a great time.